All right, thanks, guys. The Pistons take on the Magic, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Orlando. The Pistons are -2, totals 209. 66% are leaning toward Detroit, 62% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, Orlando's plus 100 for some money line cash. Now, the Pistons are 2-2 ATS on the road this season, 2-2 ATS in their last 4 games at any location. This Detroit offense is scoring 110 points per contest, shooting 73% from the line. Meanwhile, they're taking on an Orlando squad who's giving up 113 points per game at home. Orlando's also failed to cover in 5 out of their last 6 ball games on their home court. Orlando's also 5-1 to the under in their last 6 at home. Give me Detroit -2 and the under 209 in this one. Next game, Thunder Cavaliers, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off in Cleveland. OKC's -6, totals 218. 71% are leaning toward OKC, 58% shaded toward the under. And at the moment, Cleveland's plus 210 for some money line cash. Now, Cleveland is scoring just 105 points per contest, 45% from the field. They're also just 1-13 straight up in their last 14 ball games, 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 at home. Meanwhile, on the other side, OKC's 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 ball games, 5-0 straight up in those 5 contests as well. And total-wise, not total-wise, just when it comes to the spread, OKC's 4-1 against the spread in their last 5 on the road. So with all that said and done, give me OKC -6 and the under 218 in this one. And with that said, just want to welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for Wednesday's NBA action. It's already hump day. We're in the middle of the week. So the weekend will be here before you know it. But before we go ahead and jump into some more lines of personal leans, I just want to take a time out and quickly remind you to just quickly check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 60% for the entire year of 2017, you're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just quickly hit that hit the pause button right now and open up your browser. All you got to do is type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a few seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. And with all that said and done, let's go ahead and hop right back into some more lines and personal leans for Wednesday night's NBA slate of basketball games. And on deck, who do we have? We have the New York Knicks at the Atlanta Hawks. 7:30 tip-off in Atlanta. The Knicks are -1.5 on the road. Totals 221 and a hook. 63% are leaning New York, 68% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, Atlanta's plus $1.10 for some money line cash. Now, even though Atlanta's getting faded and they're the underdogs at home, they are 6-4 against the spread overall, 4-1 straight up in their last 5 at home, taking on New York. The Hawks are also 2-0 ATS in their last couple of ball games, 113 points per contest they scored on average in those 2. Meanwhile, on the other side, New York's just 1-2 straight up in their last 3. They lost 8 out of their last 10 straight up as well. New York's also failed to cover in 3 out of their last 4 ball games, 1-4 straight up in their last 5 in Atlanta. Now, total-wise, New York 7-1 to the over in their last 8 in the city of Atlanta. So with all that said and done, give me the Hawks +2 after buying the hook and the over 221.5 in this one. Next game, Spurs Heat 7:30 Miami. The Heat are -2, total moved upward to 217.5. 70% are leaning towards San Antonio, 66% shaded toward the under. And at the moment, the Spurs are +110 for some money line cash. Now, the Spurs have been absolutely dominant over Miami in the past couple of seasons. The Spurs are 10-0 straight up in their last 10 versus Miami, 5-0 straight up in their last 5 in Miami. The Spurs are also 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 in the city of Miami. Their defense is allowing just 92 points per contest in their last 10 meetings, taking on the Heat. And speaking of the Heat, their defense is giving up 113 points per contest this year. They're just 1-3 straight up in their last 4 ball games. The Heat have also failed to cover in 8 out of their last 11 ball games at home. Now, total-wise, Miami is 7-2 to the over, 3-1 to the over in their games on their home court. So with all that said and done, give me the underdog, Spurs +2 in the over, 217 and a hook in this one. Next game, Nuggets, Grizzlies. Who would have thought this would have been a good one at the beginning of the year, at least a competitive one. Anyway, Denver, Memphis, 8 o'clock tip-off in Memphis. Denver's -3, totals 205 and a hook. 69% are leaning Denver, 70% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, Memphis is +150 for some money line cash at home. Now, this Memphis offense is scoring just 103 points per contest. They're shooting 44% on average from the field. Memphis is also 0-2 against the spread in their last couple of games, scoring just 101 points per contest in their last 10, taking on the Nuggets. And speaking of the Nuggets, they're 9-1 straight up overall, 7-3 against the spread in those 10 ball games. The Nuggets are 3-1 straight up in their games away from home. This Denver defense is giving up just 102 points per contest. Now, when it comes to the scoring, the Nuggets are 8-2 to the under so far for the season, 4-0 to the under when traveling. So with all that said and done, give me Denver -3 in the under, 205 and a half in this one. Next game, Sixers, Pacers, 8 o'clock tip-off in Indiana. The Pacers are -2.5, totals 216 and a hook. 54% are leaning Pacers, 70% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Sixers are plus $1.30 for some money line cash. Now, Indiana's 8-2 straight up in their last 10, taking on Philly. 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 at home, taking on the Sixers as well. Definitely dominant over this Philly squad in the past couple of seasons. This Indiana defense is allowing just 99 points per contest at home. They're also 3-2 against the spread in their couple of games on their home court as well. Now, the Philly squad on the other side, they failed to cover in 2 out of their last 4. They're just 3-6 against the spread in their last 9 ball games. This Philly defense is allowing a rotund 122 points per contest away from home. Now, total-wise, a little bit contradictory, exposing kind of this Philly defense, but just keep in mind that total-wise, Indiana's 4-1 to the under in their games at home this season. So with all that said and done, I do like the Pacers -2 and the under, 216 and a half in this one. Next game, Bulls, Pelicans, 8 o'clock tip-off in New Orleans. The Pelicans are -10.5, totals 229 and a hook. The Pelicans are taking 60% of the consensus action right now, and 53% are shaded toward the over. Right now, Chicago's +530 for an outright upset win. They are 4-0 against the spread in their last 4 ball games, 9-1 ATS in their last 10 in New Orleans. Chicago's also 7-4 against the spread overall for the season. Meanwhile, on the other side, New Orleans failed to cover in their last 4 straight. They're also just 4-6 against the spread overall for the season. New Orleans is 7-3 to the over, 3-1 to the over in their games at home. So with all that said and done, I'm going to take the underdogs in this one. The underdogs on the road. Give me Chicago +11 after buying the hook, and the over, 229 and a half in this one. Next game, that is going to be Mavericks Jazz, 9 o'clock tip-off in Utah. The Jazz are -9.5, totals 215 and a half. 65% are leaning toward Utah, 73% shaded toward the over. And at the moment, the Mavericks are +395 for some money line cash. Now, Dallas is 6-4 ATS overall, 3-2 ATS away from home. This Dallas offense is scoring 112 points per contest, 3-1 against the spread in their last 4 ball games. Meanwhile, on the other side, Utah's failed to cover in 6 out of their last 7 at home, 0-5 straight up in their last 5 on their home court as well. Utah is 7-3 to the over, 3-1 to the over in their games at home. All that said and done, give me Dallas +10 after buying the half a point, and the over, 215 and a half in this one. Next game, Raptors Kings, 10 o'clock tip-off in Sacramento. Toronto's -8, totals 231 and a half. 70% are leaning toward the Raptors, 60% shaded toward the under. And at the moment, The Kings are plus 315 for some money line cash. Now, Toronto's been dominant this year, 10-1 straight up overall, 4-1 in their games away from home. This Toronto offense is amassing 117 points per contest on average, 3-1 against the spread in their last 4 ball games. Meanwhile, on the other side, Sacramento is giving up 119 points per game. They gave up 144 to Milwaukee in their most recent ball game. Sacramento's also shooting just 46% from the field at home. Now, total-wise, Toronto's 8-3 to the over on their side of things. Sacramento's 7-3 to the over on their side of things. So with all that said and done, give me Toronto -8 in the over. 231.5 in this one. And that's going to bring me into my next and final game for the show. It is going to be T-Wolves Lakers 10:30 tip-off in Los Angeles. The Lakers are -5.5. Totals 237 and a hook. 65% are leaning Lakers. 79% shaded toward the under. And at the moment, Minnesota's plus $2 for some money line cash. Now, Minnesota's failed to cover in their last 3 straight. They're also just 1-5 against the spread on the road this season. This Minnesota defense is allowing 119 points per contest away from home. Meanwhile, on the other side, the Lakers are scoring 120 points. Let's try that again. The Lakers are scoring 120 points per contest in their games at home. But oddly enough, the Lakers are just 2-3 to the over in their games at the Staples Center. So with all that said and done, I do like the Lakers to get the job done at home. Give me LA -5 after buying the half a point and the under. 237.5 in this one. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. But before I get out of here, I just want to quickly remind you once again to please check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage. And with a documented win percentage of 60% for the entire year of 2017, you're certainly costing yourself some valuable information each and every day you're not subscribed. Now, memberships begin at just $1.99 per month. There's also plenty of free content there as well. So once again, please feel free to just hit that pause button right now or finish the video. Open up your browser and just type in patreon.com/BrockPage. It'll only take you a few seconds. Link is in the description section below. And if you are a current patron of mine and you're currently watching me right now, I simply cannot thank you enough. You most certainly make it all worth it. And most importantly, thank you for watching today's program. I really hope you enjoyed all this great free information. And please don't forget to check me out at patreon.com/BrockPage.